So I'm using what we're going through right now because as like material, I don't know what to call this, because Teddy has been out of therapy for like, we hadn't had it in like 2 years, and has it been that long? Yeah, it's been like 2 years, and he's almost 11. He'll be 11 in August. And I'm not putting my kid on medication. That's one of the things I'm trying to avoid. And I've heard sometimes people still, like, once their kids are older, they put them on. And I'm really hoping that I can avoid that. But, like, so today, like, yesterday we had that thing in public. And it was weird because it's like there's things, like, you know, we'll go through it, like, you know, just try to figure out if there was something, like, if he was upset earlier or something was bothering him, or if I did something that, you know, was triggering. But it's like, there's not really anything I can think of. He definitely feels the tension or whatever, like when I'm going through something, but it's also like there's been a lot of that because I'm super emotional, and just going through this whole experience. But like, in most of his OT sessions have been like good, but we have had a few, especially the last couple of times, like after he came back from his little break, he was like overstimulated that one, and then last week he showed some aggression. But today was like we had to help him calm. Like, he got aggressive with me in the waiting room, and then we went in there. He did the straight arm hits on Miss Marie. She is y'all think I have patience. These people, she's a saint. I mean, she doesn't have to go home. She doesn't have to deal with it all day. But then again, she's a therapist, so she does put up with behaviors all day. So I think aggression is one of the less common ones. But anyway, he squeezed the HELL out of her arm like more than once when he was frustrated. And then it was so funny though, because it's like he still did some of his tasks. Then he'll like calm down and he made all the sandwiches. He brushed his teeth like when they did the practice, and I don't know, I can't remember what else they did. And then we were talking to him at the end, like, hey, if something's hurting you, like, you know, using your words. And that's the same thing that I do with him. I ask him to like help me understand if something's like hurting him or bothering him, or because for me, even, I know it's not always me, because I have depression or I cry all the time, and it doesn't always affect him. Like, it's not, so it's like that's one of the things that is hard, because most kids, even if they're not feeling good or they're sick, they'll let you know, so you get that heads up and you kind of know how to handle it. And also, they don't probably tend to lash out aggressively because they can use their words, and you've created that safety. So it's like, whereas with my kid, it's like he doesn't know how to express that, and it makes him angry, or frustrated, and then anger. And she was even asking me, she's like, what do you think is like, I told her when we came in that he was having some aggression the last couple of days. But I mean, it was also like, because there's sometimes where I just haven't been wanting to go, because I have to sit there with him through it. And anyway, but I'm also really grateful. Like, Miss Marie is they're having a new location opening up, and she's gonna be moving, I think, to the other one. I don't know that we're gonna be moving. So, but it makes me feel good that like the one time he kept being escalated, like 2 weeks ago, she asked me if we wanted in early, but I was like, yeah, that's okay, because he kept like screaming and stuff, so he wasn't like cooperating. And it's funny too, because we went in today and he asked if he could get the SUCKER right when we got there, and I was like, no, you have to do your thing. And then he asked a couple times through it, so it was like he didn't want to be there, but he didn't earn it, because it was just he flopped on the way out, and then he ran out, and there's too many little kids in that waiting room. It's dangerous. It's too dangerous. this in less than 5 minutes. So yeah, it's like stuff like that, where it's like my kids, I've been with him, I'm with him almost all the time, and yet still, if something is like emotionally or even a physical ailment, like if he has a headache or stomach ache and he's not telling me, but he's like acting it out, it's just, you have to ride it out with them, because until he uses his words to like tell me what's going on, I don't know what's going on, or without other symptoms or whatever. I'm just hoping that he gets to a place where like this, he starts to learn how to advocate for himself and choosing to use words, or figure out how to use his words more, so that it can help him gain more independence, and like that feeling of safety with other people, that like he can speak up for himself and whatever. It's just one of those things that you take for granted when you when you have a voice. But it's sort of, I also have a deeper understanding, because I learned how to be strong by not needing people. So, which ends up being, you know, later on, that ends up being like your downfall. But like, I also like, it helps me to be a space holder, I think, because of that. But it also is very exhaustive. I mean, this type of thing is exhaustive for anybody. But I understand what that's like, because I've done the same thing, where I just was like, all right, like, having narcissistic parents is like, they don't like being charitable, and so it's easier just to like learn how to handle things yourself.